So that's the problem. And on a final note, I just wanted to say as well that youngsters that are going out there to do judo and karate, they need to be aware, because I've done karate myself, that sadly, once you've done the exercise, that's just the point of getting you in there, and you've done all the moves. They do tell you to sit down and to meditate as well. So you just need to be aware of that. I don't know whether one of you brothers could actually expand on that, but...
Yeah, well, what is interesting, of course, is that we've been talking about this life force, and the same life force that we've talked about in alternatives is the same sort of life force that you call upon in martial arts. So it is indeed, although expressed differently, it is indeed coming from the same area, and therefore can give you the same problems.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think hopefully sometime in the future we're going to do a particular program specifically on the martial arts, but certainly at this point it's worthwhile understanding that we are dealing with the same power when we look at that.
Yes, and I don't know whether that includes the wah-ha, whoopee.
I like that, Billy, but with the wah-ha and the wah-hey, we'll leave it there anyway. Bless you. Thanks for the call. The Lord bless you. Denise. Hi, Denise.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. Now, I've just switched on your programme.
Right.
I'm going to bore you again with the yoga thing. I've been a Christian for 20 years, and I do a lot of exercise and keep fit. And one of the classes that I was doing at my gym, it was called Body Balance. And I thought it was about learning balancing techniques to strengthen tummy muscles and stuff like that.
Right.
But they actually introduced some yoga stretches in with Pilates. There's a bit of Tai Chi. I didn't stay for the end part, for the relaxation part, but I just found it interesting that it seems to be creeping in just in ordinary exercises these days.
Yes, I know.
You know, I wondered what your thought on that was, really.
I found it so frustrating, because things that should be just such natural therapies like physiotherapy, massage, consultations, counselling, whatever you go to is now infected to very commonly by this belief in balance of yin and yang and life force and chakras and iffy meditations, which is a real shame, because it's taking away something that's natural and helpful. So Christians are even more in everybody's in a difficult situation, aren't they?
That's
So
right.
if they just want help and they want a listening ear, they have to put up with all this other stuff or try and weed out the good from the bad. It's very difficult.
And it is, of course, and as you say, body balance sounds actually quite good, but it isn't just balancing the physical, it is balancing this force and this power. And of course, you do get this yin-yang symbol, which you get, the circle, half white, half black, and the white dot and the black dot in it, which is the balance between the two opposite forces. And that's what it's seeking to do, to bring that balance of those forces in your body so that you are healthy. And of course, as you say, it's getting beyond just that which is natural, and it really is opening up into a supernatural realm.
Yeah. So obviously I can't do that one anymore.
No, I'm afraid not. And again, and you've obviously seen for the very reason it is because it's opening up to a different power and a different force, which could potentially have an effect on you.
Yeah. I mean, the Pilates class I do, the lady who runs that, she's like a keep fit instructor, and I don't sort of feel anything dodgy whatsoever in that, because I call it Pilates actually, because we come out of there and can hardly walk.
Yeah.
But this one, it just sounded good.
Yes.
And it's very gentle, and I thought, well, I'll give it a try, but obviously I'll have to go back to my swimming.
I'm afraid so. But the swimming's supposed to be one of the best exercises. Go and do 1,000 lengths and you'll be all right.
Okay, thanks
Denise,
so much.
bless you. Thanks for your call.
Bye-bye.
Yvonne, is it from Berkshire?
Yeah.
Hi there.
It's my first time I've ever phoned, and I'm a bit nervous.
Don't worry. If you could
So
speak
am I.
up just a little.
Right.
All my guests are nervous. Don't worry.
I'm just sort of following on possibly from that call and what you were talking about. I did look at your website, the Reachout Trust website.
Right.
I went to a physiotherapist about 2 months ago, first time, and she was using applied kinesiology.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which I'd never sort of come into contact with. I actually was recommended to her by a Christian friend.
Yeah.
And I only on doing some research a couple of weeks into my treatment did I realize sort of what I was dealing with. But I couldn't find any information, and only when I went actually on your website did I sort of see you had one of the articles on it.
Yes.
And I just couldn't believe how I just went for some massage and how I was into this whole thing. And then it came to a head when she sort of laid hands on me in the one session, and she said, I'm just going to drain your neural pathways or something. I'm not sure. And it was almost like the laying on of hands, and that's when I stopped and I said, look, I'm not comfortable with this at all. And I had to leave her, but she was such an engaging person, and I almost felt as if she was going to sort of help me. It was very, 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 the whole experience was just very awful and uncomfortable, you know.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to sort of almost sort of caution people out there to really do your homework and your research and find things out, because there's so many alternative therapies now involved in physiotherapy.
Yes. And of course, straight physio and massage is not a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, and it is. I mean, it's what we've been saying, isn't it? Is research is vital.
Yes.
In these issues.
Yes, and I mean, this was a good friend of mine, and she's had these treatments herself. And, you know, that came to light when I began to speak to her, and I was quite stunned. So you really have to do your homework. You've got to be so aware these days.
You have indeed. And as you said, we've tried to get as much information on our website, and if people have questions and they can't find the answers, email us, and we will happily get that information to you. Because it is important. In the end, you have to make the decision, don't you, before the Lord.
Yes.
We're not going to tell you what to do, but we will do the research, we will find out, and then having done that, you make a decision before the Lord. Can I do this, Lord, and still walk closely with you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Okay, bless you. Thanks for the call.
Bye.
Okay, bye now. Couple of emails, a couple of that have got just straight questions. Whether they've got straight answers or not, I don't know. Good afternoon to you both. Can you tell me, please, is it all right for a Christian to go to a chiropractor?
Right, that's... I don't know a great deal about chiropractic, but from what I have heard is that there are... Physically, it can be quite dangerous, just the actual movement of the spine. And I would say for that reason, from what I've read, I mean, somewhere here in an article in Daily Mail, it says here, does it work? It says there is no evidence to suggest that spinal manipulation is effective for anything but back pain, and even then conventional approaches such as regular exercise and ibuprofen are just as likely to be effective and are cheaper. But it also warns about the dangers of manipulation of the spine, and particularly the neck, and it can cause blood clots and things like that. So
you've got to really know your practitioner there as well, because obviously with the manipulation of the spine, that isn't a spiritual thing, it's a physical thing. The question is that healthy? So you're really looking at that from a different viewpoint. What certainly some of the people that have contacted us about chiropractic is that a number of chiropractors, now there is a Christian Chiropractor Association, and if you're a Christian, I think if you look them up and talk with them, but a number of the other chiropractors are using other alternatives as well. So you've got two things there. One, do you want your spine manipulated? Is that safe? Decide that. Two, if you do that, make sure you don't add anything on apart from that. Happy on that one?